You didn't even wash your hands. Hey, I'm Austin.
And I'm Ryan.
And this is the Spring Chat, where we talk all things Disney.
Resorts.
Shopping. Food. You can catch us at 8:30 on Thursday nights on
Facebook, YouTube,
Twitch, and now Spotify on Amplified Network.
Thanks for joining us here at the Amplified Network. Your show will begin in just a few minutes, but first I want to go on ahead and shout out to our awesome sponsors. First, we have the Mouse Merch Box. It is an official Disney subscription box. It is $60 quarterly if you subscribe, or $70 per box. It's going to come with $120 to $150 worth of exclusive Disney apparel and merchandise, so definitely check that out. If you do decide that you want to check them out, we do have a coupon code for you. Coupon code is going to be Springs20 for 20% off of your order. Next, we have the Great Adventure Supply Company. Great Adventure Supply Company is really cool. They have a bunch of 80s and 90s themed pop culture themed Disney and theme park apparel. So if you're like me, you miss the 90s, you love that style. They recently released some new exciting additions to their store. Be sure to check them out. And we also have a coupon code for the Great Adventure Supply Company that's going to be Magic15 for 15% off of your order. So thank you so much for joining us. We greatly appreciate you and our sponsors. So stay tuned here on the Amplified Network. Your show will be coming up soon.
Okay, we're good. Bam.
What's up?
What's up, guys?
Hi, Twitch. Sorry about that.
Sorry, Twitch. Blame Amp. His name's Amp, and he can't control the audio. I don't know what it is. But okay, so one of the biggest things we covered so much.
You need to reintroduce because they didn't have sound.
Okay. Welcome, Twitch. You guys,
Fire away.
reverse. Welcome, guys, to episode 5 of the Theatergoers Endgame Part Dos. My name is Tony. Thank you guys so much for tuning back in. My boy Amp with us for back-to-back weeks because we got to keep it going. And our boy Tafari, you may know him as our colleague from the Anime Club. Got him on here as a guest right now because he's a big fan of Endgame, and he's got a lot to say about it too. So here we go again. It's Part Dos. We're basically going to cover, I wouldn't say a lot of things, but some big things we couldn't cover last week. Like, okay, I'm just gonna hit off right off the bat. One of the things that we did not discuss last week was another death in the Avengers family, and that was Natasha Romanoff's death, Black Widow. Are you crying already?
It's a little bit.
Just a little bit?
So do we need a spoiler
little
alert
sad.
button for this show or no?
Nah,
No, they already know
about
If they
spoilers.
just
Not to mention, it's
they
like 2
basically
weeks
had
later.
it like
If they just
2 weeks in a
stumble
row.
on-
They've had a whole lifetime
Yeah.
Actually, yeah,
to see the movie by
official,
now.
The official spoiler date was yesterday.
Yeah.
The official spoiler day was a week ago, a week and a half
Bruce
ago.
Brothers said you had until yesterday to
To not spoil the
and
endgame.
then they said yesterday was the official day to be allowed to open talk about it. You had 2
Okay.
weekends
Okay.
and you squandered it. Now
Okay.
you're not allowed to be sad.
All right. And then you've seen it 3 times.
Yes.
I've seen it twice. And if you're
Once.
you're once.
I'm a one-timer.
Whatever. That's
What?
maybe that's all it takes. Maybe that's all it takes. I know. I
That means I'm
appreciate
not
it.
tainted by your second opinions. I haven't been.
I'm just saying I
tainted.
appreciated it a little bit more the second time I watched it, but some people are one timers, so it is what it is. Okay, back to the show.
Sorry, I have a life.
This is my life. You've made this my life. So let's get back on topic. The one thing I definitely want to talk about is Natasha Romanoff's death. We didn't get to talk about that last week. I do apologize to all the Black Widow fans out there as Kenzie gives us like the huge stink eye. Like really, guys.
It's actually
But-
funny. She created that so she wouldn't give people stink eyes, and
Okay.
she's totally
And
breaking
she's
that.
totally, yeah.
She's breaking that fourth wall. I just want to point that out.
All right,
Anyways,
so
continue.
um,
And the middle finger. All right, let's go.
hey,
Hey, there it
Oh,
is.
So-
Every show gets one.
So here we go. Natasha Romanoff. I mean, for me, as soon as I found out that it was Clint and Natasha going to Vormir to get the Soul Stone, you kind of knew somebody was going down. If you just looked at, you didn't even have to think about it. Really, just Infinity War, Thanos sacrificed Gamora, so you already know going into Vormir, somebody's going to get sacrificed. And you know the love these two have for each other from the very beginning.
Platonically and physically.
But all on a friendship level.
He's married.
He's
people.
married, people. He is not
She
a
was
cheater.
dead, technically, I mean, but still.
But still, it wasn't like that. It's basically friend zone to the max, but it was a beautiful friendship,
Yeah.
regardless.
Both.
So,
ways.
Amp, I want to ask you first.
Oh boy.
What'd you think?
what?
Did you?
I've
see
only seen it
like,
once. I don't
First
know
of
why
all,
you're asking me.
I know.
Just kidding.
So let's get the quicker opinion out the way
Okay.
before I can get to far.
The quicker opinion.
So in terms of like when you watched it and you saw them on the way to Vormir, did you know what potentially was going to happen?
Oh, I mean, it was very obvious someone was going to die. Like, it's... I don't think
Whether
that's
people want to
the
admit it
issue.
or not. You already knew.
Right. No, I don't... Drew just chimed in. Hashtag remember Budapest. Yep, absolutely. I still want to know what happened there. But, I mean, we all knew one of them were going to die. I totally was going to be honest. I thought that Hawkeye was going to do it. I really did.
Really?
I really thought it was going to be Hawkeye.
Like, so when you saw the fight at Vormir, they were like, "Oh, he
Dude,
shot that arrow."
I
You
love
were
the
like,
Russos.
"Oh, he's gone."
I love the Russos. Yeah, when I saw that slow mo, I was like, "Dude, he might have
He's
won
gone.
this. Like,
He's
he might
gone.
have actually got this." And then,
He almost killed.
but it's
Natasha.
funny. You know what's funny? In every single like fight that you saw them, like the first Avengers, where he was mind warped or whatever, and they fought, she beat him. Then
She beat him.
she beats him almost every single time. So I don't. That's why I kind of thought he was going to win this one, because they bring everything full circle. In that last movie. So I thought this was the one time he went up there, which was sacrificing himself.
And then they also fought in Civil War, but he was pulling his punches and whatnot. So, but that's a whole other stuff. So, Tafari, what did you think when you saw it? You've seen it 3 times
I've
now,
never- honestly-
so you have a pretty clear distinction.
Yeah, you
of
guys.
the
I
entire
walked
movie.
out of the theater the third time. You guys was chatting. No one saw my comments. So I'll say it here. 2 out of 3 times, didn't get up once. I want my didn't pee during the movie trophy. I just want to put that out there right now. But no, I just realized that when you said it, like they've had fights in almost every movie, and she's always taken the W.
Always won.
I never realized that.
Yeah,
Honestly, though, I wasn't expecting anyone to die. I thought they were gonna pull like the power of the pen and just. like, am I the only one who sat there watching? I was thinking, throw the bow. Like I can't be the only one who was thinking he's gonna throw the bow and arrow. Like they're not gonna kill one of them off. Throw the bow. You have a sword. You'll be fine. You have like an infinite quiver of them at home. Take the one your daughter will no longer use.
But I have to say, where the people, again, Black Widow fans like Kenzie here, I'm not, the thing is,
I didn't know they were diehard Black Widow fans.
there are fans for every single person, man. What you mean?
I had no idea.
There were fans for Quicksilver that were pissed he only got that one movie.
I
you
know.
know?
I was
Yeah,
so
he's-
mad about
he's a character I
Quicksilver.
wish we got more
Exactly.
of. Like,
You see, and what
I
it
was
was
really
like the
upset
one
with-
movie, Age of Ultron. That was it. But
He's
in
such a
terms
great
of like
character.
just how it came up, it kind of makes sense that it was Black Widow. She even admitted, I've been working so hard these last 5 years just to bring you back, just to bring back what you lost. And he has a family. Her family, sure, it was the Avengers. Everyone knew that. But at the same time, it's like he lost his family due to the snap. So she's been working hard to bring him back, and that's what she did. She knew she had to make that sacrifice in order to bring him back.
Drew, why are you a fan? What other reasons make you a fan? I was just curious. Anyways, continue.
I'm curious. No, I'm curious.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
No,
for
Drewski
Drew.
just chimed in and said, I'm a fan, but for other reasons. I'm assuming he's talking about the movie.
Maybe-
Drew, we're covering a bunch of stuff about the movie, so we're kind of breaking it up. So
Maybe he thinks.
Yeah.
Her-
what was your favorite?
he's a fan for
maybe-
the casting.
Oh, he's a fan for Black Widow for other reasons.
He's a fan.
Maybe he thought her ass was America's ass instead of Captain
I mean,
America's.
it's definitely Russian's ass.
It's
so.
definitely Russia's
Yeah,
ass. That's
yeah,
for sure.
that's
Oh
for
my
sure.
God, my friend,
Yeah.
like, with the beginning of the movie, she's looking at Cap. She's like, "Look at his ass," and I'm like, "Just give it." I was like, "Just wait till like." the
So
next
she
hour."
saw that coming. Basically,
was like-
she
I was-
started the
She didn't know
conversation.
it was coming, and then I was like, "Give it just another hour and a half." And then when it was Cap versus Cap, she thoroughly enjoyed that.
Oh my God! Double dose of America's
Basically,
ass.
and then when he cracked the joke, she just lost it.
Oh my God. Okay, so then. So
Drew,
then, and
Drew
then,
says Twitch is editing me.
oh
I said
Lord.
use emojis.
Don't censor me.
And then not only did the Black Widow death leave an impact on the fans as they were watching the movie, but then also you saw the huge effect it had on the team. Like even just on the return trip from the quantum realm and the times that they were sent to, how it literally now I see Drew's comment. I'm
Told
like,
you,
okay.
the casting.
Okay. And then
For audio purposes, because no one, if you're going to listen to this later, because you should,
You
we're on
really
Spotify, iTunes,
Bam.
all that jazz.
It's
the
everywhere
Theater
now.
Goers. It's on all audio platforms. For audio purposes, Drew took his right finger and made a circle with it. And then with his left finger, stuck it out and it pointed one sideways,
I love how
pointing
you didn't
towards
use your
the
finger,
circled
use the
finger.
mic.
Anyways, continue.
This is stupid.
Anyways, you saw the impact that it left on the team. Like even them just coming back from all of their assignments, all of the times, Clint falls to his knees because he saw her death firsthand. Everyone's like, the first person to ask, "Where's Nat?" is the Hulk.
Yeah, I
Whereas-
feel like we didn't get as much of a nod to their whole relationship until like that part of the movie.
Because the
All right,
only
so I want to say something
yeah,
on that.
Okay,
Go for
here
it.
we go. Let's go do it.
Because I knew that this was going to get brought up at some point. Okay. So I think the Russos realized that they made a mistake. Okay.
Really?
I really do. The Hulk and Black Widow relationship,
didn't get enough time.
I don't think it was, I think it was an experiment that they felt didn't get good. You know what I mean? I think it was a bad experiment. And so then every time we see them after the fact, I think it was it Ragnarok? No, it was literally, it was Civil War when they saw each other again, right? Or no. It's
No,
Infinity War.
No.
Infinity War is when
it
they
was,
saw each
it
other
was
again.
Age of Ultron and then
Yeah.
Infinity War.
And then Infinity War.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember,
And that's
he
why
left- he left
Infinity
the
War.
Earth because he felt
Right.
like he was a
In
danger
Age
to
of
her,
Ultron,
and
yeah.
that's how he ended up getting stuck on.
How he
I
took the
felt-
quantum jet though all the way to a whole
didn't-
other fucking.
I mean, that's pretty
galaxy,
awesome
though.
that
I was
humans
like, wow.
can create that.
Apparently, he hit a wormhole or something.
I know he hit the devil's anus.
Like, if
That's
you-
and he went
basically,
right
if you
through
ever-
The
there.
devil's anus.
If you
Yeah.
ever want to see a good animated Marvel flick, Planet Hulk was pretty good.
I
it
seen
was.
that on Netflix. It actually seems like really.
All right, let's stay
really
on
good.
topic. So,
Okay.
anyways.
I'm on topic. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
saying, like, quick shout out. Like, they're kind of on the similar page, like what Hulk is in that movie.
Mhm.
He's like, well, it's not so much he willingly leaves. They legit lock him in a ship with a message from Tony. He's like, "You've tried to murder all of us multiple times. You got to go."
Yeah, I've seen it. It's really good. If you haven't seen it, you should
But yeah,
watch
so
it.
he left because he felt like he was a danger to the one girl that him and Hulk mutually like. Because remember, in Ragnarok, him and Banner were still arguing as he transformed back.
Right. Yeah,
So-
it was.
That was the last nod we got to it. Civil War happens, all the in-between stuff, Infinity War, and then...
But then Infinity War, you get a taste of it because they see each other for the first time, and God knows how many years, right? So when they see each other,
Two.
They
It was
literally
two.
only nod it for 1 second. Like it's not something that is pressed upon or they, increase. And that's why I kind of felt odd.
They don't
in
even have
Endgame.
conversations.
Exactly.
Really.
They don't
yeah.
ever really talk.
They're in
and
a
that's
group
why,
discussion. That's all.
That's why I don't like it in Endgame when they nod at it. Like I don't like the whole he's extra worried about her after she passed away because he didn't really care
I
in
tried to bring her
Infinity War.
back. I
You know
really
what I
tried
mean?
to bring- yeah.
So that's why I say it was a failed experiment. They tried it out in Age of Ultron. And this is another reason why Age of Ultron was not one of their best films because they tried out a lot of stuff. I mean, you brought in
Yeah.
Quicksilver and then you immediately killed him. You know what I mean? That's a character you could have dragged on for a long time.
Yeah, you brought in the
Yeah.
twin. You brought in those two literally
Right.
the same time the X-Men franchise.
That's
did.
the other issue. You can't use X-Men. You can't talk about mutants. So where do they get these gifts from? They're gifts. They're
From the-
abilities.
from the
I think
experiments,
one of them
like
said
1,000
abilities at one
X-Men
point.
Show reboots. There
Right.
was, I think they were mutants, and then they were like the transformed, and now they're the gifted.
Right, exactly.
Like they keep labeling it and not and
Because they
shooting themselves in
can't
the foot.
because they can't talk about being a mutant. You know what I mean? So it's just stuff like that where I think they messed up and then they were trying to fix these things. That's why in Endgame I didn't pay attention to it that much because I felt like it wasn't really them fixing a wrong or like fixing an issue. They were just trying to close out that storyline so they can move on. So I don't know. That's in my opinion. I think they realized that they made a mistake in Age of Ultron. They literally gave it no recognition in Infinity War, and in Endgame, it's done. Like no one can talk about it anymore because she's dead, and he was like, "Muh," and that was it.
So basically, after Age of Ultron, it was like ended.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at no point when you see her throughout the franchise does she ever bring him up. Never. She never once says,
No,
"Man,
she
I really
has that.
miss
She
Bruce."
has that moment at the Age of Ultron where Captain's like, "Are you just gonna stare at that wall because she's thinking about
Right,
it?" But
and
that's
that was
it.
part of the
But-
failed experiment.
Yeah, but
you
that
know
was
that
it.
that was already in the
Ultron
film.
had basically built on them being the Avengers for years and her always
Right.
being like the catalyst to calming him down. So they built that relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and then the fact that he went and did the whole gamma chamber thing for what, like how many months? Like
Yeah.
6 straight, and she didn't even know where he was.
Exactly.
Or they haven't had any interaction in the last 5 years.
Right.
That or she's just been that much of a workaholic trying to fix everything.
I mean, yeah, you got to think about it from that point of view too. He's now a smart Hulk, and they never once tried to fix that relationship. They never. And that 5 years after all that depression
That
and
might
stuff
have
that
been a
happened.
major reason for him to become the Hulk. Like, I can't have a relationship with Natasha, and then basically let me become
See,
the
but
Hulk
the
then,
Russos. See, that's the thing. You got to remember the Russos wrote this, and Feige, Kevin Feige, they wrote this whole.
phase.
No, not just phase. Like this whole massive story.
Plot
Like
line, yeah.
the whole thing is all connected.
Universe. Yeah.
So you got to understand that there's a reason why they didn't add it, and I'm saying the reason that they didn't add it is it was a failed experiment. That's all I'm saying.
I
Okay.
feel like they gave themselves an out too with the fact that they mentioned, what is it? Is Hulk neutered because of gamma radiation or no? Was that said? Is that
No, they never talk
They
about
never
it.
they had
talked
the
about
They never
expression-
talk about his anatomy.
I remember when they were talking something about his anatomy. She brought up the fact that like she is surgically made so she could not have kids.
Well, that's Black Widow because she's an assassin, and so like part of being the perfect assassin is you can't get pregnant.
Yeah, so I feel like they already
There's
made.
no distractions from
I
you.
feel like they already
Exactly.
made
Yeah.
amends for like Hulk to like be into her and then have to move on because this will go nowhere eventually anyway.
I mean, yeah, that could be another way of looking at it. I think at the end of the day, it was a storyline that they wanted to flirt with. They didn't get a good response because even when I don't know if you remember, but Age of Ultron, everyone thought it was weird. I don't remember anyone really. I mean, there might have been a few.
I
Like,
wasn't really opposed to it. I kind of figured like the way she kind of like the way she did it in the beginning of the movie with the whole like song poemish talking down type. I'm like, okay, so this
see,
So
that's
so
cool.
it's at this level.
See, that's
now.
cool because
Yeah.
she, like you guys said, she's the she's like that glue that keeps the team together.
but, like, if
so
she's
yeah,
been-
that would make sense that she's the one that does that.
yeah. So I'm like, if she's been doing this to him for years, clearly there's some kind of connection they're trying to establish or would be established off of that, even if it is one sided.
Right. But, still, I'm just glad he did at least show some emotion because he clearly cared about her despite anything that wasn't going to happen with them, like romantically or physically or anything like that. He still very much deeply cared about her. And that includes the only reaction you basically see him act like the Hulk, which is grab a fucking
Yeah,
bench and
I was gonna say that's. The
I
most,
want to
like,
know where that landed, though. They never showed.
You never heard it.
You never heard it hit.
No, you never did.
So that
That
would
was a
have
really
been,
cool scene,
yeah,
though.
That I would have been like, okay,
Hulk moments you got up until then.
right. So then the next thing that I definitely want to talk about is one of
Drew, I agree.
the, what do you say? Oh no.
Yeah, so he said it wasn't even a thought after Banner goes full Hulk though. And then he says, I mean, he'd rip her in half. Giggity.
That's the thing. He was like, he's Professor Hulk, but he's still like somewhat bigger than the average human. Like it's certain times.
No,
on
he's
camera,
definitely bigger than the
he's-
average.
certain times
yeah.
on camera where he looks like okay, he's just like maybe three, like Batista big, and then he's like, no, he's still Hulk. But like there's certain times on camera where I'm trying to gauge how like what his actual size is like as a person.
I mean, he could still like crush a human being like with his
Definitely.
fist. Yeah.
So let's go to like because you had a couple other ones that are really
right. The one thing I definitely want to talk about because when I first saw the movie, you've only seen it once, so yeah. One of the biggest things that everyone really enjoyed and loved about the battle scene, the ending battle scene in the movie was Captain America possessing Mjolnir. Not just one of the best things I thought about was he didn't just pick it up or anything like that. It went to him.
Yeah, he's
like he reached out his hand just like Thor does, and all his movies and everything. He went bow, and now I was like, oh,
bow.
the entire
my
entire
theater
theater
lost
went
it.
nuts.
Yeah, my theater lost
My
its
entire
shit.
theater went nuts and was like, yes! And to me, like, we didn't cover that last week, like I mentioned, but that to me is like, and everyone remembers, speaking of Age of Ultron, everyone remembers how in Age of Ultron, so it's like, oh yeah, anybody can grab it, go ahead, you try. No one could grab it, but when Cap tried it, it squeaked. Like it moved just a little bit. But then that started the question of, wait, but okay, so he's not worthy, but why did it move an inch? Like why just a little bit instead of the whole thing? So one of the biggest theories that I've heard about, and I believe this one because it makes the most sense according to the timeline and everything, is that after in Civil War, when Cap admits to Tony that he knew that Bucky killed his parents, that relieved everything off of him. That finally made him worthy of everything. What do you think, Amp?
Wait, say that one more time.
That when he admitted, the
guilt
guilt is what
lying
didn't
to
make him
Tony.
worthy. That once he admitted to Tony, yes, I know, I knew that Bucky killed your parents, and he never told Tony. Once he did,
No, but he knew only in that film.
He knew by Winter Soldier, and then Avengers 2 came, and that's when. So he basically was walking around from Winter Soldier up until Civil War that Bucky's the one who killed Tony's parents. Because remember,
Right.
When did he know in Winter Soldier?
Because remember, in Winter Soldier when they're in that like chamber and the professor that they went to nab in the first movie that got Bucky killed.
Yeah.
Which. Still trying to figure that one out. He left that like embodied message of his own essence and was explaining.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
It's
that.
like Hydra's been killing people for decades. You never realized it. And he's like, "What do you mean? We schedule accidents." And it shows
Bucky.
It shows what's his name, Mr. and Mrs. Stark die in car crash. But then you see Bucky's picture pop up right after. So I didn't pick up on it until I rewatched the
Interesting.
scene.
I
So
never picked up on
basically,
that either.
Mr. Steve Rogers, who sacrifices himself for anyone and everything all the time,
Oh,
is
Bucky,
holding
though.
on to the fact
Yeah.
that his best friend killed his other best friend's parents, which is why that trailer of, he's my friend.
right.
So
Interesting.
was
I didn't know that.
So it goes that once he released that like guilt from himself,
Yeah.
he finally became worthy, and that's why he grabbed Mjolnir. And the reason you never saw it before Endgame is because Civil War happened, and then I forget the order right now, but then Thor Ragnarok, but Thor lost Mjolnir in Thor 3.
Yeah.
And that was on another planet and everything. So we never got to see Cap interact with the hammer again until Endgame when Thor brought it back when they went back in time. So, but what I want to know is like, how did you feel? How did you feel when that happened?
Like when he got the
Like
hammer
when
for
he
the
got
first
the
time?
hammer for the first time, yeah.
Okay. How do I describe this? You know when
Just in
you're
I wasn't
a guy.
going to say it, but I knew we were all thinking.
Are we all virgins here? I'm just curious. Yes?
No.
No? Maybe? No?
I've been on you.
That's okay. You don't have to answer that question.
I've contributed
I'll
to
say
your
this.
Triple H.
When I realized that I was no longer a virgin, it was kind of like that feeling. It really was. Like the sensation that came through my entire body, that coursed through my body after the moment. Yeah, exactly. That moment, I realized that, man, oh my gosh. I'm no longer a virgin.
I was gonna bring that up too. Continue.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
That's what it felt like.
It
for
was
you?
one of the coolest, dude. That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And then Dragon Seeker chimes in, and she says, "My favorite Dungeon Seeker." Sorry. Dungeon Seeker was when he got the axe, and he and Thor traded axe.
So he was
and the
worthy
hammer.
for both. You already knew he was worthy
funny
for
to
both.
me. He's like, no, you take the little one.
No, you take a little. I
that
got
was
this one.
one of my favorite scenes. Oh my, no.
That big of a moment.
That
Still
was awesome.
Found a way to put humor
In the
it.
in the middle of all that chaos and destruction, they go, no.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Same way
It was
with
great.
Same way with Infinity War, all the little demon dogs, and it's just like, nice beard.
No. I see you cuffed with my beard.
By the way, this is tree.
This-
Also, speaking of like, rock,
I am Steve Rogers.
I am Groot. Shout out Vin Diesel with the easiest paycheck in all of Hollywood.
Yeah, no lie, man. Jeez.
Speaking
I
of,
am Groot.
Speaking of the Guardians.
Speaking of being a virgin, yeah.
Speaking of Guardians, Tony went all of 5 years never learning the name Rocket. I picked up on that on my third one when they were building the time machine.
I imagine that during those 5 years they didn't interact with each other a lot.
Not a lot.
And
I
then-
believe it, but
and
still
then-
enough to know that the guy who literally lost everybody
Mm-hmm.
is at least hanging out on your planet now. I could email from a raccoon. Nothing's weird.
But remember when they linked up to build the quantum realm and then the time machine and everything, Rocket was in space doing his thing with his ship from the Guardians of the Galaxy. So when he finally came back, that's when him and Tony interacted, and they still had Ratchet. You good there? It's Rocket, douchebag.
That was pretty funny.
And then Tafari, I didn't ask you. We haven't asked you. I hope it's the same type of feeling as what he just described.
Oh, I
But
was,
maybe
I was the
maybe
a-hole
more
up front who
human?
started the slow clap.
Oh,
I
you were that
immediately-
guy.
I was
Yeah, he's that guy.
immediately like, it got everybody going.
yeah.
Because I was like, this movie, I told him before he saw it, I was like, this is basically, if they've hinted at it or paid like a sentence to it, they're going to do it. So Cap with Mjolnir, Spider-Man with instant kill.
Oh my
that
god, that
was-
was so
Like
dope.
the fact that he was like panicking was he stood activate instant kill. They just started like shanking everything in his
and
direction.
I love how he was so against it in his movie Homecoming. He's like, Karen, Miss Peter, should I activate instant kill? No, God, no,
We'll
God.
never
We'll
use
we'll just take him down peacefully. And he sees all these dogs coming down. And he's like, activate instant kill, like no hesitation. And then I'm like, oh my God, it actually works.
Honestly, if his
pretty
suit was
awesome.
made out of Tony's current suit technology, he would have been unstoppable.
Oh my God, yeah, because
Like
the
the-
only things
he
that
could've
were
just
the
regenerated new
things that were
arms.
killing everybody were his extra legs. But if he had some like Iron Man technology with the blasters and the rays and everything, he probably would
And
have
not
cleared
even
out
the
that whole
rays,
field.
Just the nanotech to repair every arm that he lost. Because when they finally had pinned him down, he was like,
They
I don't
grabbed
got this.
it and ripped
I don't
it
got this. Help!
I got this. Oh no, I don't got this.
You know what's really cool about that too? They were able to keep his innocence through all
That's
that.
it. They were like,
They were able to keep even though he activated insta
he's
kill, he
using-
didn't physically kill
he's
anybody.
using assassinate, but it's still teenage 15, 16-year-old
Right.
Peter Parker
Yeah.
saying, I'm doing this to hurt people,
not
save
turning
me.
into a murderer, just defending himself
Yeah.
and trying to get the job
I mean,
done.
saving his friends, And that was the other thing cool. That's what I love about Spider-Man. He never really does anything for revenge. He always does things to help avenge or, protect people. And
He's an Avenger.
That's why he's still right now he's one of the best Spider-Man I think ever. Is because he keeps that innocence in every way he acts. Like
he's the perfect high schooler, and he's
Well,
the
not only
perfect
that, like,
kid.
you got to
You know?
realize he's a 15-year-old kid who has incredible strength. He has these powers that he's still learning how to use.
Incredibly smart too. and
Incredibly
everything,
smart
yeah.
kid. I mean, you have to think and this is what I love about Homecoming, is because when he webs, he's always messing up.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
he's falling on rooftops, he's running into walls. Like people don't realize, like in the comics, they make it look so easy because he's swinging, and that's like advanced.
He doesn't
Spider-Man.
have trouble. Yeah,
That's advanced Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like Webverse, the other Spider-Man movie that came out,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
animated
yeah.
one.
Spider-Verse.
Same thing.
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
He
thank you.
has the representation
Thank you.
right here.
Miles Morales, same thing, man. He's a young kid learning his powers. We see that opening scene where he's climbing all over the building and he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And he grows into that. And I mean, it's just so cool to watch these type of heroes. Because like Iron Man, Cap,
They're all
Thor,
vets.
They're
They're
all
all
vets.
vets,
They know
yeah.
how to use their powers and they're growing with these powers. But with Spider-Man and what's beautiful about Feige and Russo and what they're doing, they're showing his maturity through all of this. And I am so beyond excited about Far, Far Away because we're going to see him really become a vet.
Yeah,
You know?
I feel like he has to do a lot of growing up.
Even this,
For,
even like just spiraling off of that. I don't mean to interrupt you, man.
No, go ahead.
But even just this, when I saw this, other than Tom Holland in the MCU as Spider-Man, this is my favorite Spider-Man movie.
It's one of my favorites.
Far,
By far.
dude.
The casting for this one was perfect.
It really
It
was.
really was.
It
I
was.
wanted Donald Glover because that's always been like a running gag, but they did him justice in Homecoming and in the Spider-Man cartoon they had a couple years back. They had him play Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Spider-Verse. But the kid, I'm blanking on the Rami Malek, I think his name is.
Mhm.
Something Malik, I know who you're talking
He's the kid main actor from the movie Dope, if you've ever seen that. Also a good film.
about. Yeah.
So he did an excellent job as Miles.
Anyways, sorry, we went way off topic on what you were saying.
Spider-Man, basically.
Spider-Man.
Has to grow up. Like, same way Miles' growth will probably be similar to Spider-Man and Far From... Because I realize everybody gets kind of like 3 movies and they really come into vets. He's still 16, probably only aged a year from his first movie. Has been into space. Like Sam Jackson, bitch, you've been to space.
Bitch, please.
I mean, it's so cool because you see, I think it was in the trailer of the new movie, or I honestly forgot where Tom Holland says this, but he's like, or I think it was in Endgame where he runs into Cap or he runs into someone. He's like, I fought that guy. I stole his I think it was Ant-Man.
No. It was
in Homecoming.
It was in Homecoming. It was
Yeah.
Homecoming.
We were
Like
watching the
Ned's
Captain-
like, did you meet that guy? Did you meet Captain
Yeah,
America? And
that's
he goes,
right.
yeah.
Okay,
Stole the shield.
Stole his shield.
That made me
That's
laugh.
One of the coolest things. That was one of the coolest
Hannibal
scenes.
Buress as the gym coach. All right, I'm supposed to show
Oh
this
my
to
god,
Oh
yeah.
my God,
I
that's
know he's a war
hilarious.
criminal, but
This guy's an international war criminal, but whatever. And that's public school in a nutshell.
well, I love that's high school in a nutshell too. Just the
Basically.
fact that he's like, did you fight that guy? I was like, I stole his shield,
Yeah,
bro.
that was so
I was
cool.
watching Cinema Sins, and they're like, no one in earshot hears this. Also, my thing with one last Spider-Verse gripe, he kept glitching out, like... So that didn't happen to Gwen at all, like when they were just out in public in class?
Yeah, I thought about that too. Like, how does she not glitch? Like, no one ever notices her glitch ever.
But back to Spider... I feel like, whereas in Spider-Man 1 through 3, then the Sam Raimi ones with... Tobey Maguire,
Tobey Maguire, the OG.
We watched him graduate high school in the first one. We watched him be an adult in the second, and then like be Spider-Man in the third one.
Or be the Black Spider-Man.
Yeah. I mean, he's been a veteran. He's been into himself. He's doing public appearances and stuff. And then he still had his own personal challenge. Like now that I'm older, I realized the word personal challenge I moved was him and MJ's relationship, where she's on the decline as he's on the rise. So I feel like we get that with Tom Holland, but he's like a sophomore going to a junior.
I was just gonna say,
so now
and
he's got to jump the gun with a missing Iron Man, people coming from other dimensions. I don't know what Phase 4 holds, but if they do Young Avengers, he would end up having to be the leader at like 17 years old.
I was just gonna say he's still a kid. He's not even a junior or a senior in high school. He's like a freshman going to sophomore or a sophomore going to junior. He's still 16, like absolute max 17. I don't even think he's that age. But and then you mentioned his innocence. The thing that made me like feel it right here in this empty space of mine, in my heart, was when he not only did he come back, and when he came back onto the screen, my whole theater went nuts too. But when he finally caught up with Iron Man, with Tony, and he was like, "Oh my god, yeah." I came back, we were fighting, and then Dr. Strange said, we gotta go. And then Iron Man just hugs him, man.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my God.
No words. It was so awesome.
Oh,
This is nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm not gonna lie. Sidebar: I wanted to see how they went and gathered everybody off screen. Like, I want to know if he gave Wong a mission, like through telepathy or something. It was like, tell everyone be here on this date and blah 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 blah.
Strange probably set that up with Wong, because when Wong left,
because remember they went and got like people from the other 8 realms, like people who've been assisted by Asgardian armies. They went and got the space people. I'm pretty sure he wasn't even on screen, but the people that Sylvester Stallone was with in Guardians.
the Ravagers.
Yeah, like you saw
Ravagers.
the Ravager planet. Howard the Duck was there for some damn reason.
Yeah, did you?
That was pretty awesome.
Did you see
I had
that?
to go
Yeah, I
back
did.
and see it. I was
That
like,
was pretty
why?
awesome.
The second time I saw it.
No, I saw it the first time.
For anyone who hasn't, I don't even know if you've watched the movie, you had to if you're still here. If you haven't, I don't know what you're doing, dude. But if you've seen Endgame, you're planning to go see it again. When the battle scene is about to start and Doctor Strange is doing this window thing, when you see Hope Van Dyne, the Wasp, come, as soon as you see her veer bottom right, veer
Yeah.
to the bottom right, you're gonna see Howard Doug
Yeah.
with a big ass gun in
It's
his
awesome.
hands,
Is it
ready
so
to.
good? I thought he had a
No.
drink. It was so damn.
What?
boring.
No, it was a
I
gun,
watched
dude.
I watched some
He was ready
self-
to tear ass
I watched,
up,
I
bro.
watched some
Oh
bootleg
man.
3G cell phone footage on YouTube. I thought he just had a martini in his hand.
Because every other time you see him, he's drinking.
What's funny though is I didn't know they had a Guardians cartoon out on Disney. There's actually a whole episode where they're like fighting Howard the Duck and trying to, I guess, capture him for a bounty, and he's just like wrecking their shit the entire.
Dude,
episode.
Howard the Duck's an awesome character.
Yeah.
I've never watched the original movie, but apparently
Don't see it. It's awful.
No,
it truly
no.
is awful.
And then I watched a video talking about him. He's basically like so-called mixed martial art master, and then some
Howard?
Yeah,
Yeah.
from like based
Yeah,
on the comics.
cartoon I watched, he was giving the whole
Yeah.
Guardians click the business.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't play with Howard.
Oh man. And then
I'm not gonna lie though. When Tony finally snapped his fingers and Spider-Man walked up, I thought he was gonna say, "Hey kid, I'm not feeling too good." If he said, "Hey kid, I'm not feeling so good," I was gonna lose it.
I
That would've been
also-
it for
I wouldn't
me.
have stopped
I
laughing.
I
would have
thought-
laughed.
I
I
I
think
would
the
have
fact
laughed
that
so
he didn't
much.
say anything that was like worked perfectly.
Right.
His final words being "I am Iron Man" probably. I wouldn't be surprised if
I
they did a
was
few takes.
I was totally convinced that he was gonna give another one-liner or something like that.
That's
I
it.
told you that last
It
week.
would've fit his
Another one-liner,
character.
but no. But I am long pause. Iron Man. Well, before the snap, obviously, but I couldn't
I
take it.
legit thought he was gonna say, "And I am sick of your shit." And
I
I
thought he was
the
gonna.
whole end scene. I'm looking for the Robert Downey humor, and it's just gone. And that lets you know how serious the scene is getting.
So I was with a friend this weekend, and he told me about a reshoot that they had to do with Robert Downey Jr. in that scene.
Ooh.
And apparently, he had said something different. So
Like a one-liner or something?
like some
Oh, I
other
would've- I
one-liner.
would've doubt if it was
Oh,
like-
yeah, if
But
it was
then-
RDJ said
but
it probably.
in editing, the editor, the guy that was editing that scene, said this is all wrong. This is not what he should say. And so he said, to bring it full circle, he should say, "I am Iron Man," and then snap his fingers. And the
Exactly what
Russos
it did.
agreed with
'Cause
him.
that's what every reviewer.
And so they brought him back
Exactly
in to
what
reshoot
it
that.
did.
That's every reviewer I've watched, and they said like to start with "I am Iron Man" and end with "I am Iron Man."
It
It's
was
just
perfect.
and
Yeah.
when you think about
So
it,
thank the editor, whoever
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah.
when you think about it,
I'm gonna look up the credits right now and be like,
DC hire those people, not whoever you let organize Suicide Squad.
Tony, if you spill that drink over,
I know. I'm
my
really trying
girlfriend's
hard
gonna
not
kill
to.
you. And then I will kill you because you
Spent
probably
25
ruined all
bucks for
my.
this one, not so much. Thanks, GameStop, for your blunder.
Shout out to Power Rangers.
I
Love
still
them.
need to see the new one, but I heard it was great.
It was pretty good. I've seen it. It's whatever.
But speaking on the final battle, the whole femme fatale. How do we feel?
Oh my God! No, when Spider-Man gave Captain Marvel the gauntlet, he's like, I don't know how you're gonna get through all that. And then, or who was it that says she has help? I forget
Okoye.
who. Okoye. That's what I thought. She's like, don't worry, she has help. And then it was all female superheroes. I was like,
so badass.
oh my God.
That's all my. Some people are like, oh, it's pandering. I'm like, they did a better job in 30 seconds than Captain Marvel did in 2.5 hours.
What?
As far as like women empowerment and the whole, oh, this is a female movie. I'm like, I felt more badassery from that than the entirety of watching her thing.
Why?
Are you saying you didn't like Captain Marvel?
I like Captain Marvel, but as far as the whole women empowerment thing, Brie Larson, on a personal note, wanted better job in Endgame, which was shot first, than her own movie.
But it also says something about the fact that the first female-led superhero movie ended up making it was still made over $1 billion and everything.
I just feel
And
like
then-
she overhyped it too much for what the end result was. Like some people
What?
didn't like young Nick Fury. I'm like, I was a fan of.
What the hell? I love that.
Some people were critics.
I know
just to be
some people
critics.
didn't like that.
I wasn't bothered by any of her political jargon.
I'll
As a movie, it's just some of the scenes that I felt were supposed to be emotional just didn't like.
I'll tell you what I didn't like about Captain Marvel is about young Nick Fury is how he lost his eye. That shit was whack.
To me,
I
I
thought
was like-
I expected some
to
like
me, I was like-
badassery to go
To
down
me,
there.
I was like, at least get like an infection or something. Don't just tell me. Just don't tell me the alien cat. Also, where is it? Did it die?
Goose, you don't know. No one knows. It was in Fury's office last we saw it and it coughed out the Tesseract.
That's what I'm saying. So did Goose get old and die, or
But that whole scene
Actually,
just
that
with
probably is what happened. Because if
Yeah.
you think about how long
it was in there as
and
well.
then
Yeah.
it's funny to think because you watch Winter Soldier. Last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye. I'm like the cat. That's immediately what my mind went back to was that.
But
last time I
that whole scene, man.
Last
just,
time I trusted a cat. Anyways.
And he wouldn't stop giving it love. So how the hell?
I think it was badass, but did she need them? Was my question, because the way she powered through for like the last 10 seconds of that, it was nice. But I'm like,
She really didn't.
Also, my only question.
It's the same way how she came up in Endgame. They were like, "Oh, what are they, Friday? Where are they shooting at? Oh, a whole new entity is about to destroy the ship by herself."
I'll give her credit for that. That was like a very badass entry of like out of everyone. That was a dope ass way to enter the fight. Because the whole time I'm like, what the hell is she at? Like, aren't you supposed to be here?
No, she got good timing, bro. That's what they all have. And then that just leads to that scene where all the female superheroes come back, including Scarlet Witch, Shuri, everybody. That
my only question for that scene, the first time I saw it, is what the hell was Mantis planning to do?
That's you asked me about that last week with the screen time for her, and I'm just like,
everybody ran forward except you, and then you just kind of
asleep.
disappeared.
Asleep.
If they don't bite her hand
I
off
did it,
first.
guys. I could just see her like in her thing.
That's the
doing
only
that.
thing
I was at least expecting one Star-Lord. Hey, thanks, Dick. Don't ruin it this time. Although the Gamora,
All right, so
the Gamora nut kick was a nod to fans.
no, the double nut knee.
That
Because the first time she missed it, the second time she got all of them.
funny. Yeah,
that
she did
was
miss
so
the first
funny.
Time. She did it again.
And then that's another thing. Where is she?
Who, Gamora?
Gamora. Yeah. Because
the stone one's dead. The one.
yeah,
that got
the one
She's
from
gone.
the one
Forever.
from the current president died. The one from the past from 2014. Where is she?
Yeah, they're gonna go find her. That's part
Yeah,
of
that
how she-
I already assumed that was gonna be in Volume 3
I want
for
to know how
Guardians
she
of the Galaxy.
escaped, though. I'm glad they brought James Gunn back for that. By the way,
Me too.
He did
Oh,
one. I think he
man.
did one Disney or DC project, and they're like, you know what? No, let's just.
He's doing he's not directing, but he's producing, and he wrote the script for Brightburn. There's basically the
It's
version
like
of
the
Superman
ultimate
going
version of
evil.
Superman.
That movie looks actually pretty dope.
Yeah,
looks
it
so
really
tight.
it looks
I'm
really
so
It's
excited.
supposed to be like a horror thriller flick.
Yeah,
but the whole,
Yeah.
No, it's supposed to be a horror movie.
But the whole
It's
comment section,
Superman but evil.
That's
basically.
what everyone's like. I know it's supposed to be like suspenseful, but I'm not going to take this seriously. This is basically if you sent Zod instead of Superman,
Yeah, basically.
and that's how everyone's looking
But
at it as
actually,
a
you gotta think
superhero.
even darker because Zod had a parent. This kid's probably gonna go in there thinking, and we're going on way too far of a tangent. Anyways, we got like 3 minutes left. All right, last nod on it. Favorite scene? Go Tafari. Favorite scene?
It's probably a tie between Everyone's Return and Cap with Mjolnir.
Okay, Tony.
My favorite scene. Avengers. Assemble.
That was your favorite
That
scene?
was my favorite scene because I already knew everything was about to pop off as soon as he said that.
I'm personally happy to see M'Baku take the charge. Like,
Yeah,
Winston-
you saw him at the front, like yelling,
Exactly.
like,
Like
"Ah!"
Winston Duke was like, I'm getting 30 seconds of screen time. I'm making sure.
I'ma get
He's
it.
the loudest one on camera and rushing in with the stick. I just want that to point out.
And then your favorite scene. The Iron Man. snap.
obviously.
The Iron
Obviously.
Man. snap. Okay.
I mean, I have him tattooed on my body. Like
Yes.
he is.
And
Always, that's gonna be one of my
then
greatest
real
scenes.
quick shout out, congrats to Avengers Endgame, now the second highest grossing movie of all time, passing Titanic, $2.2 billion plus. Avatar, the good
They're on
one,
your
not the
heels.
last Airbender, not that crap fest. Avatar from 2009, we're coming for you. James Cameron,
We're coming. For
we're
you.
coming for you.
More like they're going for
I was
him.
gonna say-
Yeah.
we don't have any.
Well,
We're
they
just
have
fans.
our support.
We're just fans.
2-time watcher, 3-time watcher.
Just
You
fans.
need to
Just-
put in the effort a little bit more.
So I have an announcement for this
Okay,
show,
sure.
which I know you probably didn't think about announcing, but I want to announce it because
Okay.
we just talked about it downstairs.
Go for it.
To your far left, Tafari is now joining the Theatergoers cast. So now it will be Tony and Tafari, the TTs. Yeah, that's right, TTs. They will be hosting your show, the Theatergoers, therefore going forward. And you guys are covering, wait for it,
Detective Pikachu!
Woo
Yes, that's
Detective Deadpool.
So,
Really?
yeah,
Really?
If you guys
Really?
are excited about that, make sure you tune in next week. Same time, 8 p.m. You
8
guys are
p.m.
covering
every Tuesday.
Detective Pikachu, Ryan
Detective
Reynolds.
Pikachu next
That's going to be
week.
Hey,
exciting.
we have a
That's gonna be
Spider-Verse
really
now. Maybe
exciting.
Deadpool can come through.
Maybe he can.
I was honestly waiting. I know they said no post-credit scene. I was waiting for Deadpool to show up. Just show up at the last second, like, hey guys.
The sound of Iron Man breaking his way out of the cave, building the first suit.
I heard that.
That was
That-
pretty
that
was dope too.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
I didn't trust that no post-credit scenes. I stayed all the
And
way.
ending with homages, Stan Lee's final cameo, make love. I almost missed it the first time, but the make love, not war, and then just peeling out.
Enough said.
It's legit imagery. It's like he's
Yeah.
going off.
It was literally perfect. The whole movie was perfect. I'm glad we took 2 weeks to talk about it because it was really huge.
Awesome.
But again, here we
Hey,
go, guys.
real quick before you send us off, because I want to say this.
Go ahead.
Make sure you stay tuned. In 15 minutes, we have
60-minute.
60-minute suspension is coming right up with Tyler Williams and myself, and we have a really incredible topic to talk about.
Yeah, really
we're
good
talking
topic.
about transgenders and women's sports. It's really controversial.
Gonna open that can of worms.
Well,
I'll be in the comment
yeah.
section.
Make sure you guys get out here as fast as you can before
Yeah.
you get hate mail that I'm gonna get. But yeah, make sure you guys tune in for that. That's literally in 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Amplified Network is live all night.
And thank you guys so much for tuning in for back-to-back weeks of Avengers Endgame. As you already heard, next week, me and Tafari, we are going to cover Detective Pikachu. Thank you guys so much. Oh, and tune in every Wednesday. Tafari has his own podcast, Anime Club. Real
8
cool
p.m.
stuff. 8 p.m. Tune in for that, too. Just show your support for everybody here at Amplify Network. Thank you guys so much again from Amp, from Tafari. We love you guys. Tune in next week. See you later.